So here is the question number 1. Tell me if the screen is clear or not. Let me zoom it properly. Is the screen clear? Is the screen clear? Is that readable? Reply me. Is that readable? Just reply me Y or N. Yes? Okay. Fine. So there are around 70 questions in the first exercise. So we will be solving all the questions numbered 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. In this way we will be solving the questions. Okay. For each chapters we will be deciding some questions, some numbered questions, so that it will cover the entire chapter with the all concepts. Okay. With all the required concepts. Okay. So the first example that we are going to solve is the question number 5. Okay, is going to be the question number 5. And now you have to observe the methods and you have to write down the data as well as method to solve the question along with me. Okay, so let us read the question together. The ratio of radii of gyration of circular disc and a circular ring of the same radii about a tangential axis perpendicular to the plane of the disc or ring is. So what is asked? Ratio of radii of gyration. So what is asked? Ratio of radii of gyration. So write down there as question number 5. I will provide you the PDF of this also. Okay, I am using the same book which is provided you on the link. So for question number 5, what is asked? Ratio of radius of gyration of disc to a circular ring. This ratio we are asked. Both are having same radius. So let us write radius of the disc as 1 is equal to radius of the ring as 2. So R1 is equal to R2. Okay. And perpendicular to the plane of the disc and the ring. Okay. So these radius of gyration are to be found out about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the disc. So this is the disc and this is the axis. And this is the ring. And this is the axis which is perpendicular to the plane of the disc and passing through the center. And this axis is perpendicular to the plane of the ring and passing through the center. Okay. Now to find out the radius of gyration, we know that we need to find out moment of inertia. After finding out moment of inertia, always equate that moment of inertia with mk square. First find out moment of inertia, then equate that moment of inertia with mk square and find out the radius of gyration k. So let us do that for the disc. Disc we are calling object 1, ring we are calling object 2. Okay. Now what is the moment of inertia of disc about this axis? That moment of inertia is simply mr square upon 2. Okay. Now this is our first object. So let us write it as I1. Its radius is R1. Its radius is R1. Okay, but it is also given in the question that R1 is equal to R2. So no need to actually call it as R1 or R2. We have written, so that is okay, no problem. Okay. Now, after writing the moment of inertia of the disc, always remember to find out the radius of gyration, find out moment of inertia, then replace the moment of inertia by mk square. Replace the moment of inertia by mk square. So you also keep writing along with me. Now you can cancel this m and m, and you can observe that here the k square value that we are getting is k1 square is equal to r1 square upon 2. Taking square root on both the sides, k1 is equal to r1 upon root 2. R1 upon root 2, that's what we get. Okay. After taking square root on both the sides, we get k1 equal to r1 upon root 2. Now similarly, sir, you can do for a ring also. So let us do that. Let me do that. Moment of inertia of ring about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane is very simple. It is simply mr square. Okay. Now it is second object, so let us write it as R2. Okay. Now moment of inertia, always you have to replace by mk square. Okay, always you have to replace moment of inertia by mk square. It is second object, so it is called as k2. M into k2 square is equal to m into r2 square. Sir, this m and m gets cancelled, so taking square root on both the sides, k2 is equal to r2. Okay, so in this way, first of all, you should find out radius of gyration, and then you can find out ratio of radius of gyration. Now you have the radius of gyration of the ring, radius of gyration of the disc and radius of gyration of the ring. So what is the underlying thought? The underlying thought is to find out the radius of gyration. To find out the radius of gyration, first write down the moment of inertia, then replace the moment of inertia by mk square, find out the values of k. After getting the values of k, you can put those values in this ratio. So now radius of gyration of this divided by radius of gyration of the ring is equal to, sir, radius of gyration of disk means first object, disk is the first object, so write it as k1, ring is the second object, so write it as k2. Sir, k1 is equal to r1 divided by root 2 and k2 is equal to simply r2. But sir, R1 and R2 are equal. R1 and R2 are equal, so R1, R2 cancel. So answer remains as 1 upon root 2. So write this down and let me know in the chat box, is that clear and written? Just reply me CW so that I can move on to the next question. Everyone. We will be covering method of solving particular examples, okay, that will create memory, and that memory you will be using in the exams, okay. Certain type of questions आले कसे solve करायचे माहित असतील, you will be already knowing how to solve this question, you will solve it, get the marks, that's it. This is going to be the plan. Good. Is it clear? Shall we move on to the next question? Tell me. Just reply me clear and written. जायचं पुढं. I will be providing the question PDF of this also. Actually, it is already provided. And we are writing the question numbers also. Okay. Fine. So now let us move on to the next question, that is question number 10. Let us move on to the next question, that is question number 10. Let's see how to deal with the problem. Question number 10. Let's see what is given. See, always while solving the examples in the physics, ultimately example of the physics is going to be one equation, one unknown, two equation, two unknown, or three equation, three unknown. Okay. Now how to write the equations, that we have already learned. Okay. And after that you have to solve those equations simultaneously. One equation, one unknown, two equation, two unknown, and three equation, three unknown. And for that, what you need is, you need to extract the data first. पहिल्यांदा data extract करायचा. See what is given, what is asked. Then write the equation for what is being asked. पहिल्यांदा काय दिले, काय विचारले ते लिहा. त्यानंतर जे विचारले त्यासाठी equation लिहा. Fine. And then put the known values and try to find out the unknown values. This is the general method. Find out. Fine. Example number 10. The moment of inertia of a flywheel. Flywheel means disc. Flywheel means disc. Having kinetic energy of 360 joule. So what is given? Kinetic energy is given. Of course, rotational kinetic energy we are given. It is 360 joule. Okay, sir. What is given? We wrote. And angular speed, that is omega. See, the unit is radian per second. The moment of inertia of the flywheel. Flywheel means a disc having kinetic energy of 360 joule and angular speed of 20 radian per second. Sir, omega is given. Omega is 20 radian per second. From the unit you can see it is omega we are given. Okay, so omega is 20 radian per second. If we are given frequency f, it will be in rotation per second, rotation per minute. So RPS and RPM. Whenever we are given RPS and RPM, we are given frequency f. But whenever we are given omega, we are given the unit as radian per second. RPM, rotation per minute, rotation per second, असं दिलं तर ती frequency असेल. And if we are given radian per second, then it is omega. Okay, when we are given omega and when we are given f, that you should know. Fine, sir. And what is asked? What is asked? The moment of inertia of the flywheel. Moment of inertia, I is equal to question mark. So, sir, direct formula for moment of inertia we don't have as such, because the direct formula is simply summation mi ri square or integration r square dm, but that cannot be applied here. So, sir, right now we do not have any direct formula for what is being asked. In that situation, when you do not have any direct formula for what is being asked, in that situation you should write the formula for the quantity which is given. जेव्हा जे विचारले त्याच्यासाठी फॉर्म्युला नाही आहे, तेव्हा काय करायचं, जे दिलंय त्याच्यासाठी फॉर्म्युला लिहायचा. सो व्हॉट इज गिवन? रोटेशनल कायनेटिक एनर्जी. सर, फॉर रोटेशनल कायनेटिक एनर्जी वी हॅव फॉर्म्युला 1/2 I omega square. Now you can do the tick marking. Means rotational kinetic energy given, tick mark here. Omega given, tick mark here. Now this is one equation, one unknown problem. Agree, disagree, reply me in the chat box. One equation, one unknown problem. This is one equation and I is the one unknown. In this way physics questions are solved. Are you getting this? Just reply me yes or no. So that I can do the further calculation. I will calculate it exactly up to the final value. Initially we'll tackle simple questions, and as you develop the logic, we will be dealing with the higher logics also. But first of all, develop the basic logics. Good, very good. So fine. Now we can move on to the calculation. But always remember, before going to the calculation, always remember that first check all the options. What are the options? 18, 1.8, 2.5 and 9. Okay. 18, 1.8, 2.5 and 9, and all the options are in SI unit. Okay. So we have seen the options. Before calculation, always check once what are the options. Okay, and according to options, try to manipulate your calculations. Fine, sir. Now the rotational kinetic energy is 360 joule. Everything is in SI unit. 1/2 as it is, I as it is. Sir, omega is 20 and it is to be squared. Fine, sir. This I as it is. 20 square is 400 divided by this 2. Yes, sir, this is simple calculation. 400 upon 2, we can do it as 200. So 360 is equal to I multiplied by 200. Therefore, sir, I is equal to 360 divided by 200. So 0, 0 cancel. 0, 0 cancel. 36 upon 20 it is. So for this 20, let us divide 36 by 10 first. So that will become 3.6 upon 2. And 3.6 upon 2 is 1.8. Moment of inertia it is. So unit should be kg meter square, MI/RI square. Okay. Reply me in the chat box clear and written so that I can move on to the next question. That is question number 50. Tell me. Write it down and just reply clear and written. What is given? What is asked? What is the method? Okay. We'll move from fundamental to the advanced concepts. All the concepts will cover. All the logics we will cover, but initially we will cover the fundamentals. Initially we will be trying to solve the questions in the exercise 1. Okay, that round we will be completing first. Good. So now let us move on to the next question, sir. That is question number 15. Yes. So this is the question number 15 in front of you now. Let us read it. Let us solve it. Radius of gyration of the disc of mass 50 gram. So what is given? Sir, we are given disc. What is its mass? Sir, 15 gram. Okay, so what is given? In this way, you should extract the data after reading each and every line. Fine. Radius of gyration of the disc of mass 50 gram and radius 2.5 centimeter and radius equal to 2.5 centimeter. Okay. About, sorry, I should read here. About an axis passing through its center of gravity and perpendicular to the plane is. So we are asked radius of gyration is. So radius of gyration means K is equal to question mark. About which axis? What we are given? We are given this. So how to draw this? Shading like this. About an axis passing through its center of gravity and perpendicular to the plane. So, sir, about this axis, we have to find the radius of gyration. We know to find out the radius of gyration, always find out moment of inertia and replace the moment of inertia by mk square. First of all, find out the moment of inertia and then write down the moment of inertia as mk square so that you can find out radius of gyration. Now, what is the moment of inertia here? About moment of inertia of a disc about an axis passing through center and perpendicular to the plane of the disc is 1/2 mr square. So you will write down first formula as I is equal to 1/2 mr square or simply mr square upon 2. Now m you can write capital or small, doesn't matter. Now after that you shall replace the moment of inertia I as mk square. So that will become mk square is equal to mr square upon 2. Sir, this gets cancelled, and after that taking square root on both the sides. After that taking square root on both the sides, k is equal to r upon root 2. K is equal to r upon root 2. Now before substituting the values, check the options first and according to that manipulate your calculations. Okay, so this is the question number 15, where the options are 6.54 centimeter, 3.64 centimeter, 1.77 centimeter and 0.88 centimeter. All the options are given in centimeter. Okay sir, fine. Now let us do the calculation here. See here. Value of k is equal to r upon root 2. 1 upon root 2, we already remember it is 0.707. You also remember. Root 2 value is 1.44. Root 2 value is 1.44 and 1 upon root 2 is 0.707. Yes sir, we already know it. Into r. The value of k is to be found out in centimeter. So value of r we will use in centimeter. So 0.707 or approximately 0.70, no problem. This 7 you can just neglect. Into r. R is given to us as 2.5 centimeter. 2.5 centimeter. Now this 2.5 is being multiplied by a value which is less than 1. This 2.5 is being multiplied by a value which is less than 1. So the final answer of this multiplication is going to be less than 2.5. 2.5 ला less than 1 न multiply झाले. So the final value is going to be less than 2.5. So what is the option? 2.5 पेक्षा less value. So option 1 is wrong. Option 2 is also wrong. Option 3 can be the correct answer. Option 4 can be the correct answer. Okay, but option 1 and 2 you can eliminate because answer is going to be less than 2.5. So 2.5 is a 0.7. 0.7 means 70%. You can write this 0.70 as 70 upon 100. So 2.5 is a 70%. Now what could be the 70% of 2.5? 0.88 will be the very small. But 1.77 could be the possible answer. You can do the multiplication also and can verify that 2.5 has 70%. Multiplying by 0.7 is not a big task for you. Well, let us do that. Let us forget about this 0 as well. Let us multiply it by 0.7. 7 into 5 is 35, carry 3. 7 into 2 is 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. So answer comes out to be 175. This here we have 1 digit after dot, and here we have 1 digit after dot. So total 2 digits after dot, 1, 2. So it is 1.75 approximately, and exactly that is going to be equal to 1.77. Okay, we found it out 1.75 centimeter, but the closest answer to that will be this. Okay, this way you should be able to choose the closest answer also. Okay, closest answer one बाळांनो select करायला शिकायचं. So it is option number C, which is correct one. Okay, is that clear? Reply in the chat box, clear and written, so that I can move on to the next question. Everyone. जायचं पुढं? Yes, good. Fine, sir. You can go on to the next question. That is question number 20. Okay, let us read the question. 23 number question. Okay, let us initially find out. See, what are the doubt questions that we can basically solve later. Okay, because otherwise what will happen? Other students will simply will get bored basically, because most of the students have solved these questions. Okay, एका कोणाचे पर्टिक्युलर चे डाउट सॉल्व करण्यापेक्षा आपण पहिल्यांदा काही फंडामेंटल क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करूया. Those questions, that is question number 23 and other questions, I will be solving separately. Okay, so let us solve question number 20. 3 identical thin rods, each of length L and mass M. So what we are given? 3 rods. Okay, each having mass M and length equal to L. Each having mass capital M, they have written, and length L. Okay, are joined together to form a ladder H. Okay, so how to form a ladder H? Length L here, length L here, and length L here. So in this way, by using rod number 1, this is the rod number 2, and this is the rod number 3. Okay, this is the rod number 2. In this way, you will form the ladder. Okay, thin rods we are given. Okay, we are not given cylinders, we are given thin rods. Fine, sir. Join together to form a ladder H. What is the moment of inertia of the system about one of the sides of H? या H च्या कुठल्याही एका साइडच्या about. What is the moment of inertia of the system about one of the sides of H? about one of the sides of H. So about this axis, what is the moment of inertia of the system that we are asked? See, whenever you are given a compound system means where you have more than one object. So here we have three objects, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so there what you can do, you can find out moment of inertia by adding individual moment of inertias. Okay, there you can find out total moment of inertia of the system by adding individual moment of inertia. So for that what you have to do is this: total moment of inertia of the system is equal to moment of inertia of the rod about of the first rod about given axis plus moment of inertia of the second rod about given axis plus moment of inertia of the third rod about given axis. Fine. Now sir, this is a thin rod, first rod. Let us try to find out moment of inertia of the first rod. Call this as equation number 1. Now we will find out I1, I2 and I3 separately, and we can put that here, or you can put that I1, I2, I3 directly here also. But I will right now try to find out separately. Now I1, moment of inertia of a thin rod. Okay, the rod is thin, it has no radius. Okay, it has no radius, no cross section, it is very thin rod. So moment of inertia of a thin rod about this axis. What does that mean? It simply means that all the points on the rod are lying on the axis. All the points of the rod are lying on the axis. So moment of inertia of this rod about this axis, first rod about this axis is going to be 0 because all of its points are lying on the axis. So their perpendicular distance from the center is 0. Okay, perpendicular distance from the axis is 0 because all the points of the rod are lying on the axis itself. Fine, sir. Now the moment of inertia of second rod. Moment of inertia of second rod. So this rod about this axis. So moment of inertia of the second rod about this axis. Now we know for a thin rod, moment of inertia about an axis passing through A and perpendicular to length is ml square by 3. Okay, you also remember this formula. Moment of inertia of a thin rod about an axis passing through A and perpendicular to the length of the rod is ml square by 3. Okay, fine, sir. So that moment of inertia you can write here. Mass is m. Sorry, I should have written ml square. Ml square upon 3. So this is the second moment of inertia. Now moment of inertia of this third rod. Moment of inertia of this third rod about this axis. So let us draw the third rod. Okay, this is our third rod and this is the axis. And this distance is equal to what? This distance is equal to L. Fine. Now for this rod, this moment of inertia I3. How to find out moment of inertia of this rod about this axis? The answer is by using sir parallel axis theorem. Now what is the parallel axis theorem? The parallel axis theorem is I naught is equal to IC plus MH square. I naught is equal to IC plus MH square. What is I naught? I naught is the moment of inertia about the given axis. So instead of I naught, let us write I3 is equal to. What is IC? IC is parallel axis passing through center. So given axis la parallel axis passing through center. Given axis la parallel axis passing through center. This is the IC. This is IC. But moment of inertia of a rod, sorry, I should have written here IC. Moment of inertia of a rod along the length and passing through center. See, all the points of the rod are lying on the axis. All the points of the rod are lying on the axis. So this moment of inertia is going to be 0. So IC 0 plus mass of the rod m as it is. H is perpendicular distance between the two parallel axes. This is the perpendicular distance between these two parallel axes. Okay. This I3 is nothing but I0. And L is nothing but perpendicular distance between the two parallel axes. So instead of H, you will put L, small l. Fine. So answer is ml square. So now we have I1 equal to 0, I2 equal to ml square by 3, and I3 equal to ml square. Now to find out the moment of inertia I, we will put the values of I1, I2 and I3. So I1 was 0 plus I2 is ml square by 3 and I3 is simply ml square. Okay, now let us look at the options. So these are the options. We have to find out complete answer. Okay. So ml square by 4, ml square by 3, 2 times ml square by 3 or 4 times ml square by 3. Let's see. Ml square by 3 plus ml square. So 1 by 3 plus 1. So you can take this ml square common. In the bracket 1 by 3 plus 1, that will be 4 by 3. Okay. So sir, the final answer is going to be 1 by 3 plus 3 means, sorry, 1 by 3 plus 1 means 1 plus 3 upon 3. That will be 4 by 3 ml square. So this is going to be the correct option. So let me know in the chat box. Is that clear and written? Shall we move on to the next question? Check करा समझला का question number 20. In this way you can understand method of solving each and every question. Okay, एक एक question अशा पद्धतीने आपण solve करूया. काही question मी solve करून दाखवेन, मग questions तुम्ही try करा. मग त्याच्यामध्ये जे डाउट्स आहेत ते मी तुम्हाला सेपरेटली सॉल्व करून ग्रुप वरती टाकत जाईन किंवा सेपरेटली पण टाकत जाईन. ओके, सो लेट अस डिवाइस दॅट काइंड ऑफ मेथड. ओके, फाइन सर. So let us move on to the next question, that is question number 25. Okay, question number 25. Good. Let's move on to the question number 25. Here it is. Let me read the question. 3 point masses, each of mass m. See, we are given point masses. Okay, so data, try to extract the data. Point masses, here 3. There are 3 point masses. Each of mass m are placed at the corners of an equilateral triangle of side L. Okay, let us draw equilateral triangle. Let us draw equilateral triangle. This is point mass, this is point mass, this is point mass. Each are having mass m, and side of the equilateral triangle is L, L and L. Okay, equilateral triangle side L. What is asked? Moment of inertia of this system. Moment of inertia of this system about an axis along one side of the triangle is. Along one side of the triangle. Okay, let us take this as a side. Let us take this as a side. About this side, let us try to find out moment of inertia. Now we have point masses. How to find moment of inertia of point masses? Sir, summation mi ri square or summation mr square. So for that, total moment of inertia will be equal to m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square. So let us name this as mass number 1, mass number 2 and mass number 3. So sir, it will be m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square. Okay sir. Sir, m1, m2, m3 all are same. It is equal to m, identical masses. So m. What is r1? Sir, r1 is the perpendicular distance of first mass from the axis of rotation. Sir, it will be equal to 0 because the mass is lying on the axis. When the mass lies on the axis, its perpendicular distance from the axis will be what? 0, because mass is lying on the axis. So m1 into 0 square plus, what is m2? Sir, m2 is m because all the masses are equal. So let us write here m1 equal to m2 equal to m3 equal to m. So m2 equal to m. So what is the perpendicular distance from second mass from the axis? Again the second mass is lying on the axis, so its perpendicular distance is 0 again. So right here 0 plus m3. Third mass is here and its perpendicular distance is this. Its perpendicular distance from this axis is going to be this. So this is our R3. This is our R3. So M3 is what? Sir, M3 is M. What is R3? In the language of L, in the language of L, what is R3? For that, this angle is 60. This angle is 60. This angle is 60. This total angle is also 60 because it is equilateral triangle. So, for this is right angle triangle. This point, this point, this point. This point, this point, this point. This is a right angle triangle. So, L is the hypotenuse and R3 is the opposite side. We know opposite side is equal to hypotenuse into sine theta and adjacent side is equal to hypotenuse into cos theta. Right now, for this angle 60, R3 is the opposite side. So you can write down in the nearby this diagram as R3 equal to hypotenuse into sine 60. Hypotenuse is L and sine 60. What is sine 60? Sir, sine 60 is root 3 upon 2. Sine 60 is root 3 upon 2. This is the value of R3. And this value of R3 you can put it here. Okay. So L into root 3 upon 2 and it is to be squared. Don't forget to square it. Okay, sir, fine. Now, sir, this value is 0, this value is 0. This m will remain as it is. This m will remain as it is. Okay. So what happens here is, just give me a second. So what I can write is this m as it is. Okay. This L square. This root 3 square is 3. 2 square is 4. 2 square is 4. So what is my final answer? Sir, my final answer is 3 by 4 ml square. And now, let me know in the chat box. Is this clear and written? So that we can move on to the next question. How to solve this kind of question? See what is given, what is asked, and then how to solve the question. That you need to understand. Okay. भरपूर असे क्वेश्चन्स मी तुम्हाला सॉल्व करून दाखवेन. Okay, many questions I will be solving like this. Is that okay? Clear? Good. Shall we move on to the next question? Okay, we have to rejoin also. Okay, we have only 1 minute, so we have to rejoin also. Don't forget to rejoin. Okay, I will send the link again. You have to rejoin. Fine. Tell me, up to this, is that clear? Everyone reply me in the chat box. Everyone expecting reply from everyone. That won't take much time. Just reply me. C or N. Clear? Good. Fine, sir. It is clear to us. Okay. Now let us try to solve the next question. Okay, we might require a rejoin also.